Hello, thank you for tuning into this week's read. For the main part for the tarot, I'm using the Thelema tarot. On the bottom here is the information, artwork by Renata Lechner. And the bottom is what I'm trying to get to, so you can go to the website. Feel free to check out that website, Las Carabo. I feel like I've said it right once in my life. But you can see it right there. There's a Facebook little thingy too, and there's the address, I think. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. Supportive oracle cards are going to be your clairvoyant oracle cards by Belinda Grace, illustrations by Elaine Marzin. Website on this one, rockpoolpublishing.com.au as an apple, use an umbrella. And then last but not least, I do use dice. The dice I use are from this. They're from Amazon. I use the 20 for the major arcana, which does omit 21, I know, but I still make it work. And then for the minor arcana, I use the D4 to choose the element, and I use the D12 to choose the number, which does omit the Queen and King, but again, I just go with it. I work with it. So there's that information if you're interested. Of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. And here we go to your reading. Hello, Libra. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Libra? That's awkward. Well, is that what what's going on here? I have a feeling you're going to be in the power position here for a while. All right, some people are going to have to be disappointed. That happens. You're going to have to take the lead for this to really work out. For a little while, if you really want this to work out in your favor, I'm really feeling you have to be disliked for a while. I don't think it'll be a permanent thing, but you got to let people dislike you for a while. That might be challenging for some reason. I feel like making the right decision might be the hardest thing because other people are going to be unhappy with you. Where is this coming from? Where is this stemming from? Lack of movement. And the Six of Swords being reversed. Somebody else took the reins before, and it didn't go anywhere. It's like they made a choice, and then did nothing with it. Which the fire usually moves forward. But I'm getting it was like a spark. Somebody made a choice, said let's do that, and then just kind of left. That's kind of odd for the Two of Wands, but I feel like the information came in, things were supposed to move forward, a choice was made, it didn't go anywhere. Even if action happened and maybe something did happen, it didn't go anywhere. So you have a chance to redirect the flow. You may not be the technical person calling the shot, but you have heavy influence here is what I'm getting. And by giving your information, you will put this situation at a standstill for a little moment. There's a lot of unhappy people here. A lot of unhappy people. See, there's unhappy people here anyway is what I'm getting. The Moon card reversed and the Five of Swords reversed. We have to look back in the past and realize that like nothing happened, but this is why nothing happened. You have information from the past that you can forward here. You can give this information out to explain like, all right, if you're going to let so-and-so make the decision again, this is what they decided before and that's where it went. Nowhere. If you want to do that again, okay. I feel like you're going to have a lot more finesse than I just did saying it. But it's kind of like you have to bring forth the truth. You have to bring it forth in a way that people are listening to it and paying attention. People aren't going to like it. People are not going to like it. It's kind of like whoever made the decision before, I feel like they have a high amount of charisma and people really like that person. But if they're not effective, they're not in the right position. There's going to be some question with connections. The love card with the Tower is telling me that like some relationships might fall apart here, business or otherwise. It really might be that bad here. This is what needs to happen though, because the situation is not working. People are upset. There's a lot of upset people around. I keep getting like the Ten of Swords, the Three of Swords. These two cards are telling me there's a lot of upset people here. It's just like, even though we're upset now, we want to change the situation so people aren't upset later. But if we don't change the situation, we never come out of this energy. We just stay here. We're never going to get to a better place if we don't start making different decisions. And I feel like if you're willing to be unliked, disliked for a while, this can make a change. You're going to be in a position to bring a lot of information and help sort the situation out, help highlight what's real here. You're in this position of the King of Swords. Can we get a little bit more about that? Empress reversed and the Ten of Cups, half in, half out. People don't want to hear it. People don't want to hear it. People just want things to get better. People don't want to put the work into what it... This is like when the house has just been hit by a tornado. It's not completely a ruin, but it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of effort, and people need to pitch in. It's kind of like maybe some of the wiring is bad now. It's kind of like it needs to be fixed, needs to be redone. A couple other things. People are like, no, we don't want to do that. It's too much work. Let's just like patch up what's there, patch up the hole in the roof, patch, and then it'll be fine. And you're like, it won't be safe. It won't be safe. And instead of a tornado taking us out, it'll be a house fire. We can't do that. They're going to have other ideas about how to like, well, we don't have to do the whole read thing. We can just do some pieces. We can just replace this wire and we can just get some shingles and we'll put a piece of plywood over that and put some shingles over it. It'll look fine. It'll look nice. It'll be acceptable. It won't have a problem. They're going to have other ideas. The thing is, if you agree with them and just try to go along with it, kind of like, all right, that's what you want, I guess, that this is what they're saying, do not do this. Do not make it palatable for other people. It's hard, but like there's a lot of pushback here. And people don't want to hear the truth. They just don't. You got to hold the ground. You got to hold your ground. You got to kind of like, this is what I know it needs to happen. This is what I know we need to do. You got to hold in. You got to hold to what you believe is true. The Nine of Wands is holding what you believe is true, and holding that and not letting go of it. It's not some. I feel like this is not enjoyable. You do not enjoy this moment. This is not something that's easy for you to do. This will create a better outcome if you're able to do that. Actually, is there any more advice before I let that go? Six of Swords, half in, half out. We can't let go of everything. We got to release ourselves from the devil. The devil came up on the dice. It's kind of like, it won't be the worst thing, but I feel like be careful that you don't mess with yourself mentally and make it out worse than it actually has to be. There are going to be people here who don't like you, but they're not going to be so bad that you can't stand it. But it does give you a lot of anxiety. So it's kind of like, if you have ways to step back, if you have ways to like disconnect yourself from it, it's not the worst thing, but I do feel like it makes me stressed. Some of it you're going to be able to get away from, not all of it, by the way. You don't have to address every little thing. Keep that in mind. Address what has to be done. It's almost like address the most important and let them kind of disseminate that themselves. The devil, half in, half out. There is going to be some issues, but it doesn't have to be the worst thing in the world. You might be able to recruit some other people to help you out with this. So if you have sympathetic ears to this, utilize them to your best ability. This is the time, if you have time, if you're able to call in favors for somebody to back you up, this is the time to do it, is what I'm also getting. You'll be surprised how fast this situation passes. But I say how fast, like 2 to 3 months, which isn't super fast when you're in the middle of it. But once you're on the other side, you're like, well, I guess it wasn't that long. It's not like it lasted years. It'll pass, and once it passes on, people don't want to talk about it anymore. It seems to like fade into like, we don't want to deal with it anymore. And on the other side, if you're able to hold true to the truth like you need to, things will be so much better. People will forget that they didn't like you. I know that sounds strange, but they'll forget that you're the one. They'll give you the credit for doing it the right way, but they'll forget how mean they were to you, if that makes sense. I do see a better outcome here, a much better outcome here. The Lover's card, I feel like there's a lot of possibilities here too. Sometimes the Lover's card talks about Gemini, it doesn't have to be. But I get like a better connection here. I keep getting also like people are not remembering how mean they were to you or how nasty they were to you. I feel like you're going to remember. I feel like you are. There's also people who they're better with you later, but they're not the best. People are not going to hold true to their obligations. I feel like if you get that far and you just remember that people are not going to hold true to their obligations, you'll be able to, surf through that, maneuver through that, flow through that the way you need to, as long as you realize they're not going to hold true to their obligations. Because I feel like people are just not doing things that they're supposed to, even at that part. But I feel like you can use that to your advantage and get this really great outcome. I know there's something else there, but I'm not quite touching on it. What else does Libra need to know about this outcome? There's more communication coming in, and there's people who, they seem stronger than they actually are. There's a lot of people that I feel like are more of a bully energy that don't have anything to back it up. I feel like more bark than bite. There's a few people there. Try to figure out who those people are and just try to maneuver yourself around them correctly. Don't let them intimidate you with their verbal anger. Realize that they have a lot of bark but not a lot of bite. Somehow you can work around that because there's something here when you get to the other side. Things are a lot better. But I feel like people aren't holding up to their to what their responsibility should be. Something about, I don't think, because I keep feeling like, why are you getting the Lover's card, but I'm getting this information about somebody being very bark, 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 but not a lot of bite. I don't think they're coming at that with that bark against you. I think that bark is going towards other people on your behalf, but they're not back. I feel like this is what we're saying. They're not holding up to their responsibilities. They're talking a good game. They're saying, I'm going to make sure that person does this and this person, and I'm going to tell that person, and maybe they will. They can talk about it all day, but they don't back up what they're supposed to. They don't like hold people accountable for things that they should be. As long as you see that, as long as you're aware of that, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I feel like that's what we're saying, where people don't hold up to their responsibilities. Even though they're working to your advantage, they're more bark than bite. They're not backing up what they need to. So if you can see that and get ahead of that, you can handle that the way necessary to keep this in a good place. Because you're going to hit this good moment. The thing is, you want to keep that good moment, I think that's it. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.